Over 2 years ago, I published a riveting 4-part tutorial showing you how to use Google Sheets to create a reporting system for your classes. Today, I would like to show you a tutorial in how to use a reporting system combined with information from a parent's evening schedule and create a single document with the times, the students' names, and their grades, so that if you're doing a parent's evening, you've got all that information at hand. In order to start, we will need to create a fresh Google Sheet. This is the original one that I'm looking at now. The fresh one is here, and I've just called this Parents' Evening Notes. Okay, so this is where we're going to put all our information. This one here is, like I said before, the original. Now I have changed this slightly since. We've now got Form 7, Form 8, and Form 9. And the hardest part was coming up with all the different names. You will be able to see that the assessments are exactly the same. However, I have added approaches to learning. That would be your cues or your grades or the data, anything there that you wanted to use. So taking the information from this spreadsheet across all 3 sheets, and we're taking the information from here. So I've actually got 2 teachers, of course, made up, Mr. Beaver and Ms. Kitchen there, and they've got their parents' evening schedules. So you might get these from your own system. They might be generated, and no matter how you do it, you will need to put it into a Google Sheet here. So the first thing we really want to do is create an indexing system. So we've got 2 teachers. You might have more. I'm actually going to have a drop-down menu that allows you to select the teacher. Okay, so teacher's name goes there. So what's going to happen is you put your teacher's name in, or you select your teacher's name, and then that will go directly to the this sheet here. So if you wanted to call this teacher 1, teacher 2, you might want to call it by your initials or your team's initials. Whatever it is, they've got to be consistent. Okay, so create a drop-down menu. So the first sheet is called teacher 1. Is called teacher 2. Okay, so you've got teacher 1 and teacher 2. Okay, so we've got our menu system. The next part is to bring in this information here. So the important part here is that code there. I'm just going to copy that and put that in there just for reference. This would be an import range, and then we're going to put that in. We're actually going to use the information in here to select. So we really want, B1. So the information contained in B1, and we're going to do that. Now we want the range. So the range here is A4, and we're going to go all the way down to E. A4, all the way down to E. And I'll do 14 just to tidy it up. Okay, and we're going to close that and close that. So that's our import range. We're not taking the whole thing. We're actually only taking a few of the columns. So to do that, so that will be the query, and then our import range is going to go in there. So we just open brackets, take that, put that in. Okay, and then what we're going to query, we want column 1, so that's A. Now, when we're doing a query, we have to be careful with our caps lock, because otherwise it doesn't seem to work. We want column 1. We want column 2. We don't need column 3, but we do want column 4, which is D, and we're going to sort that out later. And then close that. Okay. Now the next part is we're going to substitute. So everything that it takes from column 4, I want to remove the first part and the last part and just leave that 7W or 8A. Substitute. So let's take that, drop that in. So the first substitute we're going to do is look at the first part. Copy that and just chuck that straight in. So we're taking that and I want to remove that part there. Close that, and I want to replace that with nothing. Okay, so and then close that. I now need to remove that DT part there. So that is going to be another substitute. Open those brackets and take this straight in, paste it in there, so we're nesting it, and we're just going to put that in there, and I want that to be replaced with nothing again, and we'll close that one. Because we've got quite a few formulas, I call it our array formula, so for that one we will start in that bracket, take that, copy that, and we'll just paste that in there. So that's going to come up first time. You've got to allow it access. The information we've got now is the time. So I can even write time here. That's the name, the class. So as you can see, I've got William R. Buckle in 7W. Now what I want is I want to get this name. I need to search for it in this this file here on that sheet. And then I want to put all the approaches to learning, which is all the way over here. And I want this information for William on that sheet, and some of you would have seen straight away that, and this does happen. Here I've separated the first name and the family name into 2 different columns, so I'm going to have to separate the names. Quite easy if you use the split function. However, on purpose I've put a couple of double barrel and hyphenated names in. So what we'll do is we're going to add a formula that's going to remove everything after the first name and put it in here, then everything after the everything before the last name and put it in here. So if you've got Polly Ann Hudson Wright, for example, Polly would go in here and Wright would go in there. Okay, and then I want that to go here, so I'll just write first. You can see it, and I want family in there. So in order to take the first name, first thing we're going to do is equal, looking from the left, B3, and we are going to find what single space in B3, and then once it's found that space, we want to delete that space. Okay, so there's William. However, if I do that here, so let's just drag that down so it copies. You see, you've got that value, so it's got Roger, Walter, and everything else, but now I've got the value, so I don't really want that. That's quite annoying. Keyboard. If an error, so if an error with this formula, let's just copy that, then I don't want anything. Okay, I just want it blank. So we'll actually put in a space. So let's take that one, copy it, put that in, and now we've got William, and we can get all the way down. So for this one, it is slightly more complicated because we're going to trim the spaces and we're going to substitute. So with this one, we'll go right from the beginning with the if error. We're also going to trim. We're going to look from the right. We're also going to substitute. We're going to trim. So we're basically taking everything out that we can, and we're doing that to B3 again. So B3. So we're looking for the space, and now we're looking for the words. I'm going to say give it a crazy long amount, just in case. We're going to trim those. I've got R buckle there, and of course, as I go down, taken the right, I've taken the BL, and I've ignored my unavailables. So theoretically, if I change this, I've now got teacher 2. So if we just have a look, James Bond, have a look, teacher 2, James. So I'm just going to clean this up. Okay, so the next part is we're going to do a VLOOKUP into this sheet now. So I'm going to need that URL first, and we'll just put that below here. This is the URL of reports. So the first thing is to really create a column here that takes away the W and adds a form to it. And also we want to ignore this unavailable business as well. Okay, so the column we're using at the moment is C. This would be an if statement. So if anything in C, so let's say C5, C6 contains an unavailable, I just want it to put a nice cross there, or an X, letter X. Anything but the unavailable, then I want it to remove the last digit, and I also want to replace that with the word form and a space in front of it. We'll do the full code. So if C3 equals the word unavailable, I'll check my spelling, then I want it to just say X. The next thing I want it to do is replace the back letter. So we'll do a regexreplace, and I want to replace that with the word form, then a space, and then exactly what was already there. So that's the $1, and then I've got to close those and close them again. And I'll take that and place it in there. Okay, and I can just drop that all the way down. So I've got the X where that's where the unavailable was. I've got form 8 where 8A was, form 9 where 9Q was. And the reason we wanted it to look like that and not like that is because we're going to do a VLOOKUP in this workbook. And of course, we need to point directly to these sheets here, which are called form 7, form 8, form 9. And I didn't want to change these because, of course, then it would change everything I've done so far. Replaces the class name with the form year level. So the next stage is to perform our VLOOKUP. We're going to look at this one and this one. We're going to go to this workbook and we're going to look for this sheet. So there's going to be quite a lot of pointing going on and a hell of a lot of nesting. So import range, take that URL and the value of that cell in F3, and then place that on it, and we are looking at what do I want to bring in. I want to bring in this column here, which is A7 all the way down. So we'll put the $signs in so it doesn't move as I copy it down. So A7 all the way down to A, close the quote and close the bracket. And we also want to look at the family name, so we'll do it again. So let's just copy and paste that. So import range, copy, paste. And this time we're going to be looking at the family name, so that's B. Column B, and we're going to do it again, but this time we want to pull the information. We want the preferred name because it makes it easier to communicate with, and we want these cells here, these columns here. So that is everything to U from D. So we'll go here, and we've got the import range, so that is now D all the way to U. So I guess we want a VLOOKUP, and our VLOOKUP is going to be based on the names in this one and in this one, but not just these, because we might have Polly Ann, for example, form 9 here, or Hudson Wright. She's got a lot of names, so we want the partial on that one. So we're going to be looking for wildcards. So we'll put an asterisk there, and the information in this one, D3, and anything after, and then the family name. So again, and then we've got anything in between E3 and anything after. Okay, we're going to use an array formula, so we'll use the squiggly ones, and we'll just drop that in there, and then we'll close those squiggles. Now, what do we want to do with the Vlookup? Well, we want to bring back the information. We want to display the information. Preferred name, just to make it easier to communicate with parents, and we want all the values here. Now we've already said that we want these, but now we're going to filter it out. Okay, I think it is column 1, 16, 17, 18. So that would be, that's not been in order, and then we are going to close those brackets. Let's get rid of that. Easy to see. Okay, we want an if error, and we have an array formula. That, paste that in there, close that, and then we've got our if error, and close that. William Bar Arbuckle. Okay, so that's 1. His preferred name is Bill. Let's go 2. So 2. Right, Bill. I don't want the 15, I want the 16. So we'll go 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, and there's my target. So what that means is there's column 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we're bringing in this information here. Now let's see if it works. So if I take that one, drag it all the way down, it's not doing anything with Roger Dodger. Roger Dodger in grade 7, form 7. No, I'll take one. See, look. All right, so that one would obviously be in the schedule. I think it's case sensitive, so I better be careful with that one. Right, and see if that works. That's better. Okay, so I think that's all good. Everything in there. Okay, and we'll just check it for teacher 2. And then we're loading James Bond, Jim. Bobby. Marmalade Atkins called Bobby. That don't really make sense. Grade 9. Right. There you go, Bobby. Okay, so not a problem. Now, to make it easier to print, obviously, you probably want this information. You don't really want that information because you've got that class there, and you don't really need that because you've got your data there. So you can actually highlight those and just hide them. You've got your times there, and then all you need to do is print that off. Now, obviously, it's such a small thing; it doesn't really, you wouldn't need to do all this work. But if you've got quite a large team and you're teaching 600 kids, then obviously this does actually save a huge amount of time once it's set up. Okay, well, I hope that helped. I will leave the formula in the descriptions. I just paste them in. And I think that is it. That is it. Another riveting tutorial. More fun to do than actually record, to be honest. But